Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we are currently around 11 months away, yes I know, from the 2024 election. We are getting close, we're knocking on the door. Iowa caucus is next month. I'm sure we're all very excited. And while the presidency is the most important thing and it's going to get the most attention, in terms of how a presidency is going to go, mainly for Trump in this case, he's going to need a Republican trifecta. He's going to need the House and the Senate to actually do things, and possibly a House and Senate with a rhino-proof majority that will work to advance his agenda. Obviously, we'll be talking about changes in Republican leadership after the elections take place, but Republicans have a very favorable map to retake the Senate and hold the Senate for the first time since a few years ago, basically. But either way, 2022, they fell short, but the map gets a lot easier. There's new Senate leadership that is prioritizing certain states more. So hopefully this time around, they will be able to go out there and have a better shot at retaking it for their own sake. So we're going to fill this map out. We're going to start off with the safe red states, and we're going to work our way down here. So Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, both Nebraskas, Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi, Indiana, and the state of West Virginia are all going to be in the safe Republican column. So they're already knocking on the door right here. West Virginia is technically a flip. Even if Manchin did run for re-election, I believe Republicans would still win that seat by a safe margin, but still, either way, doesn't really seem to matter, but it's better now that he's not, so they can, allocate some of those resources into Montana or Ohio so they can guarantee the Senate. Because you only need 50 technically if you have the presidency. You need 51 if you don't have it, and I think they're going to get above 51 when we fill this map out. But let's do the Democrat states that are going to go for the Democrats by more than 10. You can see the pie start to fill in on the left side here. And we fill these out. These are all going to be the safe Democrat states here, and Minnesota as well. Amy Klobuchar, she probably will face a more competitive election than when she was winning by like 30, 35 points, but I still think she takes it by more than 10. She's just popular for whatever weird reason up there in Minnesota. So either way, we're going to be moving on to the likely states right now. The likely states, the states that are going to go Republican or Democrat by 5 to 10%. And we're going to start off by filling out the likely Republican states, which are going to get Republicans 250, by the way, which means they don't need to flip anything else if they just get the White House. But if they don't get the White House, they're going to need to flip an additional seat to get that Senate gavel there. So the state of Texas. This is a big one. Ted Cruz, he was caught off guard last time. Beto, he ran a more fake moderate campaign, was going to every county, had the 2018 blue wave energy on his side, and either way, he still fell short. He spent a lot of money. Democrats running all red this time. He has a lot of the similar policy baggage. Cruz is not going to be taking it for granted this time. It's a presidential year. I think Trump's going to win the state by more than 5. I think Cruz probably wins it more than 5. All red is not really running that good of a campaign, and electorally speaking, he has been an underperformer. So, the state of Florida. Rick Scott, he has a tendency to win elections by the skin of his teeth. I think that changes this time around because I think he's going to win by a sizable margin. I think Trump takes the state, like I said in my last video, by 5 to 10. Scott will take it by 5 to 10, mainly because the Democrats in Florida are in shambles. And who exactly are they floating to run? They're floating 2 NBA players, Dwayne Wade, which would be an utter disaster, and Grant Hill, who has not really that many ties to the area outside of playing for the Magic for a couple of years, but is, a slightly less disaster. Either way, Republicans should go out there, win both of those states handily. They shouldn't even be that contested. But I encourage Democrats to pour money into them because it would really make taking the Senate back a lot easier if they allocate their resources in a poor manner like Republicans did in 2022. So we'll be moving on to the likely Democrat states. New Mexico, I don't really think Republicans are going to stand much of a chance in that race. They don't really have a candidate. Democrats have an incumbent that's not the worst. It's not probably going to be a blowout, but at the end of the day, it's not really all that competitive. Maine, I think Maine You look at Maine Democrats endorsing gun control. That's not popular up in Maine, by the way, despite it being a blue state. But either way, I don't think Republicans are going to have all that much of a chance at picking off the state of Maine. It might be closer at the presidential level because of third-party candidates. And also New Jersey, which this would go to safe if Bob Menendez gets primaried out, but he's very unpopular. Because these Senate races are nationalized, I still think he likely pulls it off and wins, but nevertheless, I do think that New Jersey, it could be slightly competitive given these new allegations and scandals against Menendez, but we'll have to see. So either way, there's 8 Senate seats remaining. Republicans are at 50. Democrats are at 42. Republicans looking to go out there. They need just 1 seat, and we're going to be filling out the lean Republican state. So we're gonna show you how they get it. We'll start off with Montana, and you look at what's happening there. You have Jon Tester. His approval rating is somewhat high, but he's not really being attacked right now, and it was high before 2018. Republicans didn't really try much in that election, and they still came pretty close to knocking him off despite having only a Trump plus 7 electorate in the state. And now you're probably going to have Trump take the state by 15, possibly even by more than that, and that's going to carry whatever Republicans on the ticket, even if you have Rosendale or Sheehy. Either way, seems like the Senate leadership is all in for Sheehy. I'm not the biggest Sheehy fan, but I think Rosendale probably would be better suited just staying in the House because he's good in the House. We need him there. Hopefully Sheehy will turn out to be like a Tuberville, like a Roger Marshall, who's like a lot better than expected, and maybe we'll go from there. But either way, I think Daines cares a lot about Montana. He's the one controlling the money, and it's his home state. He wants a Republican senator from there. It's going to be funded probably by maybe even a little bit more than it should be funded by. But either way, Republicans are likely going to, in my opinion, at the end of the day, take Montana, mainly because of those down ballot effects. Same thing with Ohio. Recent approval poll shows that Sherrod Brown, he's above water, but he's only at like 40-something% approval. And I think the fake moderate charade's going to end. I don't really think it matters who the Republicans put up. I think they will be carried. I think Trump takes the state by like 12. I can't see Brown outrunning Biden by that much. I think that we'll have to see who the candidate ends up being. I don't really know who it's going to be at this point. Moreno has a lot of the grassroots support. LaRose has more of the establishment support, and he's also polling very high in the primaries, and he is supporting Trump, but his policy record is pretty meh. It really just seems as if Dolan's just sitting there, and he's probably going to get embarrassed again, possibly in 3rd place. We'll see how the race develops, but either way, Republicans probably take it by 2 to 5 percentage points, putting it in the lean Republican column. So now we are going to be going to the lean Democrat races, of which there are 2. We'll start off with the state of Virginia. Hung Cao, the Republican candidate, he is a star. I think he's going to outrun Trump. I think he's going to do better down ballot. Is he going to knock off Tim Kaine? Tim Kaine's not super popular, but he's not super unpopular either. I think Kaine holds on. But Cao is a pretty good candidate, and if the presidential race does get closer, or Trump blows out Biden, and Virginia ends up being close, yeah, Republicans do have an outside chance at picking up that Senate race. Pennsylvania. Now, this is another state where Republicans are probably going to put more resources into it than they really should. You have Dave McCormick. He's going to be the Republican nominee. And everything wrong with Dr. Oz applies to this guy on steroids. He has, loose ties to the state, a past of being socially liberal and anti-Trump. He worked in the Bush administration. He was even supporting gay marriage before Obama supported it. So either way, the guy's a career liberal. Make no mistake about it. But Republicans are coalescing behind him, and they're saying, we're going to fund him. This is winnable, while they're possibly prioritizing it above a more winnable state like Wisconsin, Nevada, Michigan, Arizona. It's a disaster. They all stick together. It is what it is. But either way, Pennsylvania, Democrats, Bob Casey, he's still that electoral juggernaut. I think Trump takes the state. I really do at this point. But down ballot, Casey probably outruns him by 4 points or so, possibly more. So we're going to put it as lean Democrat. Up next, we're going to be going to the tilt states. We're going to fill these out. We'll start off with Michigan, and we're going to be working our way west to Arizona and Nevada. So Michigan, Democrats likely put up Alyssa Slotkin, but you do have this primary where you have the more progressive type, the more Bernie-style Democrat in the mix who is going up against Slotkin, And I think the primary field being divided on the Democrat side is not a good sign. We'll see how it really plays out, but I think Slotkin does become the nominee in the state of Michigan. On top of that, Republicans, James Craig, because it seems like he's going to qualify for the ballot this time, and seems like he has support from all wings of the party, and he is not named Peter Meijer. He is going to win the Republican primary. And we'll see what happens on that front. But I really do believe that Michigan's going to be competitive. I think if Donald Trump takes the state, then I think Craig has a very good shot. And if Donald Trump does not take the state, Slotkin probably goes out there and edges him out. I think it's going to be really close. For right now, I'm going to put this one as tilt Democrat. If the Michigan Republican Party was actually competent, I probably would be more inclined to put that as a flip. It is an open seat. Stabenow is retiring, but as of right now, it is tilt Democrat. So we're going to go one state to the west, across the lake to the state of Wisconsin. And this is a seat where if Republicans really had a very strong candidate, I think they could flip it. I think they could pull it off, but Scott Walker's not going to run. Tom Tiffany's not going to run. Several other people who are floated are not going to run. And it really seems as if I think Trump takes the state, but you do have the driftless area, ancestral Democrats. They probably vote blue down ballot. Eric Hovde's going to likely be the nominee. A lot of people have said Clark may run, David Clark, but he's got a lot of baggage. And I don't think that that would really play well. We don't want someone who's going to drag down the ticket. I think Hovde's fine. I think he's going to be the nominee. I don't think he's going to win as of right now, but I think it's going to be close, closer than a lot of people anticipate because, like I said, funding and these down ballot effects, they matter a lot less during presidential years. And that's why I think a lot of people got their midterm predictions wrong, but then in turn, why a lot of people may get their 2024 predictions wrong for the Senate and these down ballot races. So we're going to be moving to the Southwest here, and we're going to be going to the state of Arizona, which again, Republicans have been struggling in recent years compared to years past, but nevertheless, this is a very winnable race, make no mistake about it. Kari Lake, the Revenge Tour, is the Republican nominee, and she's going up against somebody who makes Katie Hobbs look like a spectacular candidate. That's Ruben Gallego. Sinema's bowing out, or she's running as a third party, which a lot of people are saying will split Republicans, but those Republicans that are really going to be picked off, they're the Biden, McCain Republicans, more so than not. A lot of them probably vote third party or Biden at the presidential level. As long as Kari Lake gets the lion's share of Trump supporters, and she's running a more competent campaign this time around than she was running for governor, and she always has focused more on national issues, which bodes a lot better for the more polarized Senate races. I think Lake will go out there and will take the state of Arizona very narrowly, completing the Revenge Tour. We will see it happen. And Daines has a good relationship with her. She has a good relationship with Senate leadership, and you couldn't exactly say the same thing about her having the best relationship with all factions of the Arizona Republican Party leading up to 2022, but it seems like a lot of that is being rectified, which is a very good thing for party unity. So we have the state of Nevada. And I think I had this blue in my last prediction, but I think Trump takes it. I don't know who the candidate's going to be on the Republican side. It might be Sam Brown, Mr. Deadpool himself, and he's going to go out there and he is going to take the state of Nevada. Jackie Rosen is completely irrelevant. If Trump takes the state, down ballot effects, they will help out Republicans. Republicans will go out there, pick off the state of Nevada. Trump gets his base out in the state, and that's growing because you look at the largest demography in the Vegas area. It is white working class voters. It is Hispanic voters. Both are moving to the right in recent election cycles. Nevada, down ballot, went red in plenty of races in 2022. So you're looking at that there. Republicans will, in my opinion, as of right now, take it. So either way, 54 seats for the Republicans, 46 seats for the Democrats. That is the final Red Eagle Politics Senate prediction for the month of December. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.